I used her as an example of someone who is basically possessed by ideology, you know, because as far as I was concerned when I was watching her, there was almost no person there at all. There was just endless verbal outpourings of a formulaic view of the world, and she was willing to put this guy through hell. She never looked at him at all, not even once, really, to figure out who he was.
That's why I call it like the cult of outrage, because it does feel more like a cult. People don't really of outrage because they're addicted to outrage, and they don't really think about if it's not rational. Bro, I don't know what the fuck is going on. He's literally not even making sense.
I stopped listening so long ago.
I was like looking to see if this was like edited, because it's just fucking word salad.
That's why I call it like the cult of outrage, because it does feel more like a cult.
Ugly men need pussy too. What are we gonna do without when ugly men don't get pussy? And these women, why do people keep saying benzoist? Oh fuck, I get it. That's fucked up, you guys. I'm benzoist. I didn't get pussy for so long, I got addicted to benzos.
Oh, God.
Yo, dudes are pathetic weirdos. This is just sad. This is actually a take I've heard Jordan say. Women just want to have sex with rich, successful men. And if you're not successful, what do we do about those men? We need equity. We need to make sure that women are having sex with ugly, unsuccessful men, too.
Men, they're doing impossible things.
Wait, did you say that Jordan Peterson suggested that at one point? Okay, blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to find the best. Some believe in forced sexual redistribution, in which a governing body would intervene in women's lives to force them into sexual relationships. Violent attacks are what happen when men don't have partners, Mr. Peterson says, and society needs to work to make sure those men are married. He was angry at God because women were rejecting him, Mr. Peterson says, of the Toronto killer. The cure for that is enforced monogamy. That's actually why monogamy emerges. Mr. Peterson does not pause when he says this. Enforced monogamy is, to him, simply a rational solution.
Oh my God, this guy, no. Someone asked me, do I support Jordan Peterson? No. Dude, he talks about, this is the most psychotic shit anyone serious has said publicly. He is in favor of forced monogamy.
This was a part of the what was it? It was a New York Times hit piece.
Yeah.
You said one of the cures for this is enforced monogamy. People decided, and I had never heard that term before, quite honestly, and I was like, well, what the fuck does that mean? It's a psychological term, and what it means is enforced by culture, that it is a good value.
Monogamy, because polygamous societies tend to become ultra-violent.
Yeah.
And that's been known in the anthropological literature for 100 years. The journalist knew perfectly well what I meant by enforced monogamy. She's not stupid.
You use it as if everybody would understand it because you're an intellectual and because you're a professor.
And the implication of that part of the New York Times article was that I wanted to, take nubile young women at the point of a gun, under state enforcement, and deliver them to useless men.
The question is, why wasn't there follow-up questions? And if there was follow-up questions to get you to define what you mean by enforced monogamy.
Well, there were. They just didn't make it into the piece.
Well, that's a real problem.
Yeah, it's a real problem.
That's a real problem because
it's so ridiculous. Because
it's an inaccurate definition of who you are.
Well, one of the things I've said continually, and this is on record in multiple places, it's like, okay, so you're a young man, and all the women are rejecting you. Who's got the problem? It's not all the women. That's a bad road to go down. If all the women are rejecting you, it's you.
I think it mirrors this woeful misrepresentation of where you stand. And I think these are all tied in together where people want bad and good. They want a 1 and a 0. They want things to be very binary.
Yeah, they want them to be binary in the way they already understand. They want everything to fit their ideological lens, and things are more complicated than that.
This is a complex discussion that you're not going to get in a 5-minute segment on a talk show.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You're not going to get this on a radio show. You're not going to get this in an article that gets edited by someone with a biased opinion.
You don't get to see that sort of real-time unfolding of that ideological possession. I teach. I also talk to my students in a different class about Pinocchio. And before Pinocchio becomes a real human being, he's a puppet, and he's a marionette, and other people are pulling his strings constantly, and his head is wood.